like that, Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA, the team owners, the Players Association, in the split of an instance, all of it can change. In a split instance, all of it can change. If this injury does anything, it should be a wake-up call to the WNBA, the Players Association, the team owners, that just like that, all this fanfare, all this interest, all this newfound attention on the league can disappear overnight.
Sometimes a moment hits that flips an entire league upside down. This was that night. Stephanie White strode to center court, eyes blazing, and unloaded on the officials in front of everyone. No more polite sideline grumbling, no more biting her tongue. This was the coach's version of slamming her fist on the table, blasting the refs for weeks of letting Caitlin Clark get battered like a piñata at a birthday party. For the first time all season, it wasn't just fans grumbling online. The call for justice echoed out loud, shaking the WNBA's reputation. Suddenly, every official in the building felt the spotlight, and the message was clear. Those days of looking the other way are numbered.
This don't make no sense, man. This don't make no sense. I think Stephanie White has had enough of all the bullshit going on in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark being hurt, yeah, she might be hurt, but I don't believe it's to the magnitude of what people saying. I think this is a message they sending out that we've done taking all this roughhousing and no fouls and all this BS and ain't getting no foul.
It's wild. What's supposed to be a basketball game is turning into something out of a gladiator movie. Forget technical fouls and flagrant whistles. These matchups feel like survival of the fittest, and Caitlin Clark's jersey might as well have a target painted on it. Stephanie White gave a voice to the outrage everyone else had bottled up, and finally someone in authority said what fans, analysts, even casual viewers have been screaming for weeks. This isn't physical play, it's an unsanctioned brawl. Every time Clark hits the hardwood, you half expect the ref to hold up a scorecard instead of a whistle. The sport's turned into chaos, and the silence from the people in charge is louder than any crowd.
One of the things that happened during this whole game is the referees for again, what, the second game in a row, I guess? Definitely for the second game of the season, the referees swallowed their freaking whistles when it came to the Indiana Fever, and Stephanie White has lost her mind.
Let's not sugarcoat it. What's happening on the court isn't basketball. It's public mayhem on national TV. One Fever possession and you'll see more hands, shoves, and body checks than at a Black Friday sale, with cameras catching every smack. The refs, half the time they're staring off into space, letting the madness unfold like extras in a movie. Gone is any illusion of fairness. Instead, we get a wild spectacle where whistles are optional, and the only thing consistent is the bias. The WNBA promised us sport, but what we're watching feels more like a circus run by officials who left their rulebooks at home.
But if anything, this should be a lesson to the league and a lesson to the officiating, because the amount of contact that is allowed without a foul call and the amount of physicality that Caitlin Clark has to battle through being double teamed and triple teamed, and honestly, it's mostly just not being called for these fouls, needs to be assessed. Caitlin Clark is the league's star player, whether you like it or not. It shows in the bottom line. It shows in the revenue. It shows in the viewership numbers. Every which way you turn, it shows.
The league loves to talk about growth, respect, and record-breaking ratings until it's time to actually protect its stars. Caitlin Clark, the rookie with the most hype since LeBron, gets knocked around by defenders acting like WWE hopefuls. What's the WNBA's response? A couple of empty slogans, a tweet about sisterhood, and radio silence when the elbows start flying. Officials seem to be watching an entirely different sport, ignoring Clark getting clobbered at the rim as if their batteries died. It's not just bad refereeing, it's neglect on full display. When players like Carrington go full Freddy Krueger with their hands and get nothing but applause, you know the system's broken. The league's priority? Viral posts, not player safety.
Man, I can't play it again. I cannot play this again, bro. I mean, guys, this is how the day went. This is how, bro, this just proved everybody point. They have an agenda against the Fever. There was 3 referees. None of them turned their head to even look at Caitlin Clark, acknowledge her at all, bro.
So, Stephanie White's patience finally snapped, and who could blame her? She's out here trying to run a basketball team, not referee an underground fight club. The refs have perfected the art of see no evil, dodging responsibility at every turn. For White, coaching isn't about strategy anymore. It's about protecting her roster from injury and chaos. And for fans, every missed call, every no call just makes the conspiracy theories louder. Is it just incompetence or something deeper, like making sure the league's new superstar doesn't outshine the old guard? If Clark played for a bigger market team, would she still be sent home with nothing but bruises and a pat on the back? Until the league enforces real structure and fairness, everyone loses. Players, fans, and the game itself.
Yeah, that right there is Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, that's her. Out there on the basketball court, chilling. Out there shooting jumpers. Y'all see that? Her jumper look wet too. Now you supposed to be hurt and chilling with your leg up, feet up. You out here shooting jumpers. So what that lead me to believe is that her injury can't be too like, is it that bad? They say it's a grade 1. Okay, cool. Even if it's a grade 1, would you be out there shooting jumpers? Caitlin Clark is at the practice arena shooting 3-pointers. This might just be a message that Stephanie is like, you know what? Y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Y'all ain't gonna fix this. Y'all gonna keep letting my player get hound. Okay, cool. I'm gonna hit you where it hurt. I'm gonna hit y'all in your pocket.
Now the conversations are turning from frustration to full-on escape plans. Some fans and analysts are floating the idea, why not have Clark skip the rest of the season, sip espresso in Paris, and rack up buckets in Europe where players get respect and real paychecks? Overseas, stars aren't treated like disposable practice dummies. Instead, they're protected, celebrated, and paid handsomely for it. Meanwhile, WNBA brass like Cathy Engelbert seems more focused on photo ops and PR statements than actually protecting the league's biggest draw. Her job should be simple: safeguard your stars, keep the product credible. Instead, the message to fans is, come for the highlights, stay for the weekly injury report. The truth? No one's asking for miracles, just basic player safety. Because if Clark or any other star gets run out of the league by violence, no amount of hashtags or grow the game slogans will save what's left.
WNBA referees are getting destroyed. And I mean, they are getting crushed online. Honestly, they're getting crushed during every single game. I've seen a lot of people come out and say, the WNBA referees, is this what it's about? Because they're the worst referees in the history of any referees.
To many, it feels like Clark's body is just collateral in a warped game of equality, but it's sabotage, plain and simple. When your most marketable, high-impact player is treated like a punching bag, you're not building the sport, you're wrecking it. Without stars, the league becomes just another niche sideshow with good cardio and little else. So what's the accountability plan? Are refs ever benched, fined, or even called out? Or is this the same old cycle where nothing changes and everyone blames the system? It's time to call it what it is. The league is turning a blind eye, hoping the outrage fades. But if Clark wanted special treatment, she'd ask. All she's asking for is a fair shake, a real, consistent standard that keeps the game about basketball, not bruises. Every day this goes ignored, the sport's reputation rots a little more from the inside out.
And as the league star player, she should not be bullied around or ragdolled, just pushed around like she is. There is an undeniable disparity in the officiating. I mean, think about the Kobe whistle in the NBA. No one touched him without an issue. I remember Draymond Green saying if anything happened to Steph, Draymond Green would get up in a player's face. That's not to say that there shouldn't be fairness in the officiating. Yes, Caitlin Clark should be called for fouls, but the fairness is what is being disputed here, in that she is being pushed around and not being calling, and that only hurts the league. It only hurts the eyes on the league because she is the star player. Like in the Atlanta game, it almost seemed like the strategy was to just like hack them game and like kind of get up in Caitlin Clark's face by like all the hand checks and things that just were not called. So hopefully this is a wake-up call to the league.
We have seen all over social media fans saying that they didn't want to watch the games if she wasn't going to be there. They weren't going to watch on television. They weren't going to show up at the arena. This is what one fan said. They said, once I found out Caitlin wasn't playing, it didn't make sense for us to fly to Indianapolis. We are Caitlin fans before Fever fans. She's the biggest draw. That's who the girls want to see. That's the whole point of us going to Indy, seeing Caitlin Clark. When she was injured, we thought, let's just postpone until August.
The frustration isn't just coming from one locker room. Fans, coaches, and plenty of players are all sick of seeing star talent get chopped down while officials smile and shrug. Want a preview of the next Indiana game? Imagine an MMA undercard with a basketball thrown in. Even big names like Chelsea Gray have taken hits that'd make a UFC fighter wince. No whistles, no justice. Then there's Carrington, who's become famous this year, less for her points and more for her precision body checks. If her job is to slow down Clark, mission accomplished. But if she's supposed to be the new face of the league, that's a red flag. At this point, the WNBA has to decide, do you want growth or do you want chaos? Because you can't keep both, and eventually even the most loyal fans will walk away if safety and fairness don't come first.
So lads, today we're going to be talking a little bit about the old New York Indiana game, which was one of the weirdest, like, I'm not even going to say it was badly refereed until down the stretch, but it was one of the worst refereed game. It was one of the worst refereed games I've seen. But in a long time.
Carrington's antics shouldn't just be reviewed, they should spark real consequences. Want to show the world you're serious about safety? Suspend her, make it clear that violence won't be tolerated, and send a message that the league is about skill, not cheap shots. If you can't play tough without throwing elbows, maybe basketball isn't your game. The WNBA has the spotlight like never before, and yet it's dropping the ball, letting the drama overshadow the actual competition. Fans tune in for greatness, not a slapstick brawl. This isn't just about Clark, it's about every future star who's watching, wondering if their hard work will end with a trophy or an ice pack. If the league wants to protect its future, it needs to draw a line before the game itself gets lost in the noise.
Man, I can't play it again. I cannot play this again, bro. I mean, guys, this is how the day went. This is how, bro, this just proved everybody's point. They have an agenda against the Fever. There was 3 referees. None of them turned their head to even look at Caitlin Clark, acknowledge her at all, bro.
If things keep going this way, Clark should seriously think about protecting herself above all. Skip games, secure her future, and let the league feel the impact. Because lately, stepping on the court feels like volunteering for a demolition derby, only with fewer rules and a lot more risk. Clark isn't some rookie who needs a welcome to the league wake-up call. She's a generational talent being hammered by veterans with chips on their shoulders while refs turn the other way. There's nothing noble about taking endless hits for the sake of toughness. The league should be rolling out red carpets for players like Clark, not offering up her health as a sacrifice for TV ratings. If things don't change, don't blame her for putting herself first, because right now, self-preservation is smarter than loyalty.
I'm really convinced at this point that all the girls in the WNBA hate Caitlin Clark. She's filling seats. This is a time for y'all to be shining. Instead of fighting the young lady, shine. Go out on the court, show what you made of. But no, you know what they decide to do? They get angry. Brittany Griner made a comment talking about every time she comes around and plays them, she hears a rumbling in the stands. She couldn't understand. She didn't really understand it was people up there. Yes, because they want to pay to see basketball and not politics. Leave the race out of it. God damn, why we have to make everything so god.
To every official wearing stripes, this isn't just a few missed calls. This is a pattern broadcast live for all to see. A glaring example of what happens when responsibility is left at the door. The job isn't just to keep the clock running, it's to keep the game safe and fair. Every time Clark gets hit and nothing's called, it's not a blip. It's a flashing red warning that the refs aren't just missing calls. They're part of the problem. This is bigger than bad officiating. officiating. It's willful neglect. By turning away, the referees are telling every young baller watching, tough luck, don't expect fairness here. The result? Players lose faith, fans tune out, and the league becomes a punchline instead of a powerhouse. Time to wake up, or step aside and let someone else protect what matters.
It just ends their chances. And it diminishes the interest in the WNBA as a whole. If we're like, more than diminishes, is a devastating blow to the interest in the WNBA as a whole, due to the magnetism and the Clark effect. They were saying cautious approach before. Hopefully this is a proactive approach that will allow her to be more active and even more effective later in the year.
Look at the numbers. Caitlin Clark isn't just a rookie. She's the engine driving new fans to the league. She's the spark that's putting the WNBA in living rooms and on trending pages. And how does the league repay her? By letting her get blindsided night after night while the refs play hide and seek with their whistles. Do you really think the path to growing women's basketball is turning your biggest star into a cautionary tale? Because if that's the plan, it's working, and not in a good way. The outrage is spreading. Fans see what's happening and they're furious. If the league keeps turning away, don't act shocked if Clark or the next superstar decides enough is enough. Every missed call, every ignored foul is one step closer to losing the very stars who make the league matter. Want the WNBA to keep rising? Then fix the officiating, protect your talent, and give fans a reason to keep caring before this movement fizzles out and the spotlight moves on. If you made it this far, drop a like and subscribe. There's more heat coming in the next video.